I see it as one big film, really, to be honest. I never really thought about it as a series, even though I know it's 6 episodes and everything. So it's kind of a long shoot, even though I've been doing shoots that were longer, to be honest.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I know, really. I've been involved for 9 months on one movie. This is like very tiring.
J'ai besoin de toi.
I know those guys more than you do. They're going to slaughter us.
I gotta say, man, you've done such amazing work. I've told you in the past how much I admire your career. Why do something like this? How did you connect with Steven to work with this?
Well, it's two different stories, actually. I connected with Steven years ago when he did a remake of a French movie called Garde à Vue. And he did that remake at the time that went to Cannes with Monica Bellucci, my ex-wife, Gene Hackman, and Morgan Freeman. And so I had the opportunity to spend a little time with him at the time, and we really got along. Then, when I've been approached by Apple to be part of this project in particular, there was no director, no actress. I was the first one to be contacted. So, in the process, at a certain point, his name came up. And of course, I was thrilled by the idea of working with him. I'm a big fan of 24 Hour. And so it just happened, I knew that with him controlling the directing of this thing, I would be in good hands.
Yeah. And now you're also credited with executive producer. Did that require much extra work from you besides having an intense emotional character?
Well, as I was saying, I've been contacted literally almost 2 years before the show started to shoot. So it was a way for me to keep a little bit of latitude creatively, and not to be the victim of choices of cast and directors that could have been made without my approval or things like that.
What was it about this character that led you, that really you wanted to dig into it? And does it make it easier that it's you're spending 6 episodes as opposed to just one film?
Well, I see it as one big film, really, to be honest. I never really thought about it as a series, even though I know it's 6 episodes and everything. So it's kind of a long shoot, even though I've been doing shoots that were longer, to be honest.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I know, really. I've been involved for 9 months on one movie. This is like very tiring and very intense. But this one was like 4 months for my part. And the thing is that I wanted to come up with I wanted my character to be very French, in the tradition of Yves Montand, Jean Gabin, all those actors from all those old school, Lino Ventura, people like that. So a certain idea of masculinity, but with a French touch, meaning that they're not superheroes, they're not super built, but they're lethal. They're very responsible for their acts. They're not misogynistic, but they are not ashamed to be masculine.
Well, that's an interesting concept nowadays anyways. I
agree. I know.
in.
That's why it was important for me to come across as this, to give this identity to the character.
Okay. And what a cast, man. What a cast you're working with. Wow.
Well, Eva Green was like somebody I really wanted to work with for years. I've tried to have her at the time on Mesrine, Death Instinct and all these things, but she wasn't available and couldn't work for whatever reason. And so when suddenly her name appeared, I was super thrilled. I mean, really, because the real arch of the movie, more than the spy story, more than the action thriller, is really that impossible passion between them two, So for this, I needed to have opposite me like an actress that I was fascinated by, and I've been always fascinated by Eva Green as an actress.
Well, I think you have you work well with others when it comes to your leading ladies. I've always thought that, whether it was back with Monica, whoever you're working with, there's something about that, and it's always a pleasure to watch. It's a pleasure to watch here.
But you know what? I mean, I always feel responsible for the person I'm working with. I mean, I love when the person I'm working with feels comfortable. and appreciated and valued. You know, really, it's important for me. I've always done that, men or women, same thing. You know, and for me, it's really important to. I don't want to be friend with everybody at all, but on set, to me, it has to be pleasurable. It's part of the job, because I think that when you're into the pleasure zone and you're having fun, literally, you know, you let yourself go and you reveal yourself, and that's what we're paid for.
Si tu restes ici, t'es morte.
Je sais qu'il prépare une attaque, je vais laisser tomber.
Tu me prends pour qui?